I'm a fighter. I'm not a boxer, I'm a fighter. I fight him. I promise you, it's not gonna go 10 rounds to the fight. I'm gonna shock the world, brother. I'm gonna shock the world.
Kristian Prenga has sent shockwaves through the boxing world, boldly predicting that Anthony Joshua will not survive past round 10. But is this confidence, or the biggest gamble of his career?
This is a guy that ain't never been past 8 rounds, guys. Never been past 8 rounds. He's 20, I think he's 20-0. No, 20-1 with 20 knockouts. So he got some pop on his shots. He got a good ass right hand. Got a pretty good left hook as well. Left hook to the body. But the one thing that I see about this guy, he's big too. He's like 6'5", about 260. So I see what they doing. Anthony Joshua, you know, Eddie Hearns, they trying to get a guy that's similar in height and, you know, reach and everything of Tyson Fury. I see what they doing, you know. But I feel like Anthony Joshua didn't need a tune-up. I get everything that can to happen in his life and stuff like that, man. I get the tragedy that happened in his life. However, he was just in the ring 6 months ago.
With that, the problems he brings are also being highlighted, as Tim Bradley insists Anthony must avoid getting caught by his biggest weapon, especially the dangerous left hook.
AJ, all you gotta do is take it to him. That's it. Avoid getting hit with a big shot. You know, got a good right hand. All you gotta do is take it to him. You know, this guy right here, he's tough, but he's soft at the same time. He's tough, but he's soft at the same time. So, like, if you start to put the pressure on him, he ain't never been at that level, and you start hitting him hard, and you bag him in the corner, he gonna tuck up in that high guard, that dummy defense, and he just gonna take it.
This brings us to the expectations surrounding Anthony Joshua, with fans demanding a quick finish in 3 rounds against Prenga. If he fails, many believe it raises serious questions. Prenga's kickboxing background also adds intrigue, especially after Rico Verhoeven troubled Oleksandr Usyk. The question remains whether Joshua faces a real test after the Jake Paul bout.
Problem with that analogy, you know, Anthony Joshua has to go in there, he has to be spiteful, he has to get the job done for me inside 3 rounds as well. There's no feeling out process. You've got to go in there and show that you are back, make a statement. I think that's what he has to do, AJ. So he's in a lose-lose situation, you know, going into this one, because that's what people expect.
And he hasn't actually won a genuine fight, because you can't, even though we were there, we covered it, it was a great occasion, he won the American audience over. The Jake Paul victory in December last year wasn't a real boxing match. He held Jake Paul up for several rounds, and then he broke his jaw in 2 places against a guy who really is 9 levels below him. He's not even an area champion in cruiserweight boxing, let alone heavyweight boxing.
Another factor is Joshua's link-up with Oleksandr Usyk for training, with Johnny Nelson believing he is finally listening to the right advice, unlike past mistakes.
Deciding to work and train with Usyk and Usyk's camp, was that a surprise to you?
It was a surprise, but it's very humbling and best thing he could do. Best thing he could do, because he needed to be in a position. I heard a story once that he went to, I don't know if it's true or not. I heard a story once he was in Canelo's gym, and Canelo asked if he wanted to spar. And AJ said, no, I'm all right. And he got in the van, he kicked off saying, how can this man, you know, because when AJ trained, he's going to train, he's going to know his way, which is why I've moved from trainer to trainer. He's gone to Usyk's gym, he's had to show respect, he's had to humble himself and had to think, right, I've got to do it this way, I've got to listen to you. So now finally, he's listening to somebody who's thinking, yes, the only time he had that respect was with Rob McCracken. That fear and respect. Now he's got it with Usyk.
There have been questions surrounding AJ's comeback fight, but Spencer Oliver believes he still has the hunger, burn, and fire needed to compete. The biggest positive is Joshua is not discussing retirement, insisting he has 3 to 4 years left. That shows his ambition remains high, as he looks to climb back toward the top of boxing and chase the undisputed heavyweight championship.
Trying to reinvent himself, that's his problem. He's an overthinker, Anthony Joshua, and he's looking to... The people that question the desire to want to box still are totally wrong. That fire is still burning in his belly. He does want to become undisputed. He does want to win a world title again, all of that. And that's where he's going away and looking for, trying to reinvent. And he also recognises he is in the twilight of his career. You're right in what you say when you say, you know, he was talking about 3 or 4 more years left in the game. Of course, because as soon as you start, that seed of doubt is there and you're thinking about retirement, you're done.
I always mention this all the time. Like, you unfortunately didn't get to the stage where you had to contemplate the end. You got there and I got there. And when you start admitting that you're getting towards the end, and you realise that you even start making a couple of plans, you're done. But I said about AJ and about how he is, just the fact that he's getting up.
But amid the doubters, Eddie Hearn highlights a bigger picture beyond this fight. He points to Joshua's personal tragedies, including a car accident with fatal injuries, and losing close friends who were like brothers. Despite everything, the motivation has never faded. Hearn has watched his ongoing training closely and explains that Joshua continues pushing himself beyond his limits, proving his hunger remains stronger.
I've never seen anyone train harder than him. This camp and this team have actually, like, he's training. I can't explain what these people are doing to you in training camp. Like, you know, he finishes his spar, then he's off doing an hour of, you know, brain stuff, then he's doing an hour run, then it's like, he's absolutely, like, he's in the shape of his career.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't always transcend into a great performance, but it gives yourself every opportunity to execute a great performance. I think the key, the one thing that I find, and we become so desensitized in today's world, where we're actually forgetting that 6 months ago, he was in what was a fatal car accident, right? Where he suffered himself horrific physical.
Going into detail, Hearn highlights Joshua's intense training routine, explaining how he is managing limited sleep while embracing more hard work. The strength, conditioning, and sparring alongside Usyk's Ukrainian camp are helping him evolve into the best shape of his life. According to Eddie, this is not a guarantee of victory, but it clearly shows Joshua has a plan and the preparation to deliver a great performance.
Change time zones, then I go down, watch him spar 10 rounds. Before he even spars, he's doing an hour of work to get himself ready for his spar. Then after that, he's doing 8 rounds of pads. Then he comes back to the house. We have a bite to eat, and he goes, oh, I've got an hour and a half, and I've got to go and do my strength and conditioning. And then he goes back and he does 3 hours with the mad Ukrainians on his. And I'm like, mate, he's absolutely caked, right? Yet you want this so bad. He's so inspiring to me as an individual. And I want him to win so badly, but all you can ever do is give yourself the best opportunity.
Amid all of this, Prenga's knockout warning and promise to derail a future Fury fight continue to create pressure. Eddie Hearn acknowledges that the challenge brings expectations, but believes the greater focus belongs with Joshua. He points out that Joshua is avoiding unnecessary trash talk and staying locked in. Eddie feels that on fight night, Joshua will prove his value and show exactly what he still has.
This fight won't be easy. Like, you're in with a guy who I don't think's an elite world level guy. I think he's a kind of fringe world level heavyweight, but you don't really know a lot about him. He can punch. He's a big lump, and they're going, bloody hell, I could win this fight. If I beat AJ, I'll fight Tyson Fury. You know, so there's a huge amount of pressure, but he's once again giving himself every chance. And although he's probably mentally had to come through a lot, there's a real focus. And now he's talking about Prenga, Fury, world heavyweight title. Normally he just says Prenga, like that's the only thing. He's actually, he's super focused right now.
Looking at this, boxing experts are warning Prenga to understand the danger ahead. Gareth A. Davies and Aid Oladipo discuss how sharp Joshua looks and suggest the situation is becoming more difficult for Prenga. Davies insists that Joshua is ready to deliver another Francis Ngannou-style performance, showing fans that the former champion still has the power, precision, and mindset to make a major statement.
And I think Prenga is in big trouble, I really do.
Yeah, Kristian Prenga, 35 years old. You know, he's fought a lot of lower level fighters. I had a long study of his record yesterday. The one thing that on AJ, first of all, I agree with you. It's fantastic to have him back. I think Prenga is in trouble. Just straight out there, I think AJ goes out there, and it looks like a Ngannou performance to me, where he'll size him up with the jab and let that booming right hand go and devastate Prenga, who obviously has a punch. But I saw when Anthony Joshua took his sunglasses off yesterday.
Davies explains how Joshua is now fully committed, with no distractions in his way. From avoiding real-time Fury callouts to maintaining control after Fury's fight with Arslanbek, he has shown maturity. By controlling his emotions, ego, and focus, Joshua enters this chapter with a sharper mindset, and Davies believes fans are seeing the best version of him at this stage of his career.
He's in with a very, very devastating and serious guy who's still very ambitious, to your point. His ambition is very clear. I love the way he explained the night at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Eddie, when he was drawn and called up to go up to the ring by Turki Al-Sheikh, by Frank Warren, by Tyson Fury, and he was playing landlord, not tenant, as you rightly assuage. And
the animosity between Prenga and Joshua has been off the charts. From the heated press conference to the intense face-off, the moments showed Joshua's full confidence heading into this warm-up fight. Showbiz the Adult breaks down the tension, analyzing how every response was delivered with a purpose. Joshua made sure no warning from Prenga went unanswered, sending a clear message before fight night.
This man literally described everything from the planting to the canvas, to turning his hips, the right hand, on how he's talking about punching through the face of Pringa.
I'm going to punch with bad intentions, and I'm going to bite down on my gum shield and plant my feet into that ring canvas and turn my hips, and I'm going to hit him hard and see if he can survive my power shots as well.
Then told Pringa, I hope you don't respect me in the ring. Please disrespect me in the damn ring. I don't want respect. I don't want love. I want violence.
Okay.
I respect you a lot. You're a great fighter ever, brother, but in the ring, I don't have respect for nobody.
I swear to God, I said, I want you to show me no respect. And this is perfect for me.
And he said, thank you.
No matter how strong the words from Prenga are, they are being viewed as nothing by Joshua's side. Fans are noticing every small detail, and Showbiz highlights the face-off between both fighters. He points out Joshua's intense death stare, claiming it has already made an impact on Prenga. The reaction from Prenga suggests he understands the danger waiting for him inside the ring.
Did you guys see the press conference? Anthony, AJ, Joshua, and Prenga? The damn hell stare that AJ gave Pringa. First of all, he walks up to him with the shades on, looking like Sarah Connor, which was already grim as shit. Then he takes off the shades and his eyes start staring into Pringa's soul. It was so dark, you can see Pringa getting nervous, swaying, and then he has that hard swallow. You know that hard swallow, right? Remember that swallow that Martin gave Chill on House Party? He had that.
Showbiz also points out how Prenga's background as a former kickboxing champion is becoming a major talking point. He links this to Prenga, knowing Rico Verhoeven and possibly gaining guidance from him, especially after Rico gave Usyk a tougher challenge than expected. However, he explains that all of these factors mean nothing in front of Joshua, who remains confident and prepared for whatever Prenga brings.
I told you guys months ago, after everything Anthony, AJ, Joshua has gone through this damn year, the last person I would want to be is his next op. Now, Pringa, 20 wins, 20 by KO. You heard them trying to hype him up a little bit because we know about that Rico fight versus Usyk, and now he dragged Usyk into deep waters, gave Usyk some trouble.
Knockouts, one decision loss early in his career, but who also happens to be a former two-time European kickboxing champion who knows Rico and also transitioned into boxing with very limited, amateur experience in the sport, and it makes him for a very unpredictable opponent.
While Prenga has claimed he will knock out Joshua inside 10 rounds, the expectation for AJ is an even quicker finish. Dave Allen and Tony Bellew have shared their thoughts, analyzing this matchup from different angles. Allen calls it an easy fight for Joshua, predicting AJ will stop Prenga inside 2 rounds. Meanwhile, Bellew believes the outcome could be even faster than that.
So Dave, given that you're here, tell me about your thoughts on the Joshua Prenga fight.
So I would think it's probably a safe match for Joshua. The training camp is what he needs more than the fight. He's got a lot of experience. I don't think he needs necessarily more fights, but I think Joshua wins inside 2.
I agree. I think this fight's going to be over pretty quickly and pretty brutally. Prenga, while he can punch, I don't think he has very much going forward. He's going to be going backwards, and I just think AJ lands pretty quickly and it ends even quicker.
Despite all the predictions, Prenga's manager Keith Sullivan is not convinced Joshua has an easy challenge. He claims they have studied Joshua's flaws and plan to expose them before 12 rounds. Calling it a risky fight for AJ, he highlights Prenga's awareness of being doubted. He also reveals the heavy-handed punches Prenga is showing in camp, with everyone impressed by his power. He then raises the biggest question surrounding Joshua and what he still has left in the tank.
KP, Kristian Prenga, understands the odds against him. He understands the doubt that's been placed on him. But he has absolutely no fear, tremendous confidence that he can win this fight. Kristian is a very heavy-handed puncher. I've brought in some of the top sparring partners that we've been able to get our hands on. They have called me up and been amazed at how heavy-handed and what a hard puncher he is and how much of a beating they've been taking in sparring. So we don't need 12 rounds. We don't need 1,000 punches. We just need 1 or 2 good punches on AJ's jaw to get him uncomfortable. We've seen it time and time again. When he gets hit in the right spot, he gets out of his comfort zone and loses control. And once we get him to that place, KP can step in and take over the fight. It's a really risky fight for Anthony Joshua.
Sullivan questions why Prenga was selected, if he is considered an opponent without the highest level of ability. The point adds another layer of pressure on Joshua, as critics continue to debate whether this fight is a true test or simply another step in his comeback journey.
If KP is all the stuff that these naysayers say that he is, and he doesn't have a good record and he doesn't have the skill, talent, and whatever, why on earth did Anthony Joshua's team present a fighter such as KP to him? What does that say about his team and their doubt and their uncertainties and insecurities about where Anthony Joshua is right now in his career? That speaks more volumes than anything else. And I'm confident that KP can win this fight. It's the heavyweight division. Anything can happen.
Spencer Oliver, one of Joshua's biggest supporters, responds by challenging Keith's claims. He admits Prenga may be heavy-handed, but insists he is nowhere near Joshua's level, highlighting the elite fighters Joshua has faced and the career path he has built. Oliver believes this is a calculated gamble. In his view, Joshua is taking this challenge before finally moving toward a Fury showdown.
It is a massive opportunity for Kristian Prenga, for sure, but you must admit that he is at a lot lower level than Anthony Joshua. He's never competed at that sort of level. Anthony Joshua knows what he's going in with here. Your guy is very heavy-handed, yes, but from the footage that you've seen online from him, he doesn't he's not mixed, and he doesn't seem to be at that level as Anthony Joshua. And I suppose that's where this is all coming from. It's a calculated gamble from Joshua's side of things, because they want a test of some sort, a guy that is heavy-handed, see where Anthony Joshua's
Spencer, why don't you
right
just
now.
say it? Joshua is at a different level than Prenga.
Of course.
As far as you're concerned.
Of course.
But we concede that.
Stepping into the discussion, Simon Jordan presents his argument by noting the heavyweight division remains unpredictable. He explains that Rico's performance against Usyk cannot fully define this matchup. Jordan highlights how Ngannou struggled against Joshua, but managed to give Fury a much tougher challenge, proving styles and circumstances can completely change the outcome inside the ring.
We've conceded that. We don't doubt that. But KP is a caliber enough of a fighter that he can take over in the ring and win this fight. That's the point that we've been making.
Look
at Rico versus Usyk. Did you think Rico was on the same caliber and on par with Usyk's talent?
That's a great
Absolutely
point.
not. But look at that fight.
Keith, I was just about to use that as an analogy, actually, when you're talking about guys coming from crossover fights. But Rico Verhoeven, seems to be at a different level, to be totally honest, to your guy, when you looked at that going in.
I mean, the exception doesn't prove the rule. To go to Keith's point, he can use the Rico Verhoeven, but the exception doesn't prove the rule any more than Ngannou making Tyson Fury have a difficult fight and Anthony Joshua knocking him out very quickly afterwards doesn't prove that argument either.
As far as Prenga being a heavy-handed puncher, Jordan believes this should not trouble Joshua, who has faced bigger names and more dangerous opponents throughout his career. Although he admits he does not always support Joshua, he feels a good game plan puts AJ in control. In response, Keith highlights Joshua's recent performances and questions whether his level remains as high as before.
And in the ring, and all the talk before it will make no difference. Lots of heavyweights are heavy-handed.
Yeah.
And Anthony Joshua's been in with lots of heavy-handed heavyweights, and you can talk about how he reacts. We've seen him getting hit. We saw him get hit by Klitschko, and we saw what he did to Klitschko. We've seen him get hit by Dillian White, who's heavy-handed, and we saw that. Now, these are years ago, I grant you.
Sure.
But this, with due respect to Keith, this guy is not at the level that Anthony Joshua was at. If Anthony Joshua maintains some degree of level, then I expect this fight to go Anthony Joshua's
Simon,
way.
let's put that to
Simon,
Keith.
Simon, to your point, let's look at the caliber of fighters that Anthony Joshua has faced in modern times, in the recent times. A YouTuber who had to put on 40 pounds to fight him. He got sparked out by Daniel Dubois, knocked down 4 times.
Speaking on this, Aide believes Prenga must not give Joshua any problems, but he highlights the knockout power that remains a major factor. He feels Joshua must stay cautious, because one mistake against a heavy-handed puncher can change everything. While the experience and skill gap may favor AJ, Aide insists that respecting Prenga's power will be crucial for Joshua throughout the fight.
Kristian Prenga shouldn't offer any problems. He's a big lump, as they all are in the heavyweight division. I'm guessing he's around 250, 260. Although everyone he's knocked out is at a very, very low level, knockout power is knockout power. Some people will go points with some of the guys that he's put to sleep. So he clearly has power. And I've always said, I think if a 260-pound guy hits you clean on the chin, your legs will wobble and you could go down. So AJ has to be careful. But they've watched tape on this guy. Like Eddie said in the studio with us that he was going to pick Kristian Prenga for a boot tennis fight card because Prenga does quite a lot of tickets in the East Coast.
And when it comes to prediction, Aid also believes Prenga's demolition is written by Joshua's hands. He feels Joshua is at a stage in his career where a fighter of Prenga's caliber cannot simply overpower him. Aid insists that the experience, ability, and level difference will be too much, predicting Joshua will take control and finish the fight within 2 rounds.
Oh, you guys know where I'm going on this one. This is a 2 or 3 round demolition. I think AJ is going to be too sharp. I think he's going to hit too hard. And he's just far too good for this level. Like, say what you want about AJ mixing it with the top 10. Like, if it says, oh, AJ versus Bakoli or Zhang, okay, cool. Hergovich, yeah, cool. We can have that conversation of whether or not you think AJ will win or not. AJ against Prenga? No. AJ will destroy him. We hope. The fight will be in Jeddah, not Riyadh. I'm not quite sure of the reasons behind that. There is a new Superdome there. Is it that? Is it because of sort of unrest in the Riyadh region? I'm not quite sure, but it will be in Jeddah. Jeddah was where AJ fought Alexander Usyk too.
The pressure is building, the warnings are flying, and all eyes are now on Joshua and Prenga. Will AJ silence the doubters with a statement performance, or can Prenga deliver the shock of his career? The answer comes on Fight Night. Stay tuned, share your prediction, and subscribe for more explosive boxing updates.